everyone, Retro John here, and today, finally, I'm getting ready to unbox and review Wave 1, Wave 2, and Wave 3 of the Neca animated Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures. I've been waiting so long for this, and I'm really excited to finally get to do this. Now you'll notice you only see the 3 turtles here. I do have Donatello. I ended up buying Donatello separately because I ended up buying the Shredder and the Krang box set from Wave 2 before I bought Wave 1 and didn't need or want an extra Krang. However, I will have an extra Shredder. So, let's go ahead and go over the packaging on these first. And yes, this probably will possibly be a long video, but it's going to be per set. So we're going to do the 4 turtles today. We'll do the 2 foot soldiers, and then we'll go on to the next wave. So each of these packaging, pretty much the same. We'll have the individual turtle with the foot soldier. Notice these are kind of more or less the I guess I'll say generic animated characters. I mean, these aren't really straight from the animated series, is what I'm saying. And you'll also notice that we got the Nickelodeon version of the classic Turtles logo. And this is going to actually come into, well, a little bit of a change later on here in Wave 2. You'll see that the figures are inside the packaging. Here we have Raphael and the foot soldier. Over here, we have Michelangelo and the foot soldier. And over here, we have Leonardo with the Shredder. Donatello came with Krang. I'll show you that on the back of the box here, right there. Pretty cool, pretty cool. We have a little bio of the Ninja Turtles here. We have some nice little picture art of Leonardo versus Shredder. Michelangelo versus the foot soldier. And Raphael versus the foot soldier. So, seems I already have Donatello out because I don't have him in a box. I'm going to start the review off with Donatello. So, these are straight out of the animated series. First off, the animated series Ninja Turtles were originally San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. And they came, I believe, in a 8-pack. It was a box that mimicked kind of the classic Ninja Turtle action figure carrying case. It came with all 4 turtles, 2 foot soldiers, Krang, and Shredder. Essentially what we got with Wave 1 of the Target exclusives. Yes, these are Target exclusive. All the animated series version of the Ninja Turtle figures will be Target exclusive. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, and then they decided that the demand was so high on these that they decided to go ahead and give us these figures through the exclusive deal with Target. So, well, yeah, I mean, these are really, really cool. Let's go ahead and take a look at the articulation here on Donatello. So we'll start with the head. He is on a ball joint. He can look up and down, kind of side to side a little bit. He can definitely turn his head. It's almost on like a ratchet. So his arms can go out about that far. They're kind of tight because of the shoulders here, but they can go out pretty decent. They can go out all the way around. There's swivel at the bicep here. We have a bend at the elbow, which means we also have a swivel at the elbow. We have a wrist swivel. And kind of a bend, but not really so much. He also has a little bit of articulation underneath the shell. His legs, which are ball jointed, can go out pretty far. Nice. They do twist at that ball joint, and they're pretty tight, actually. And quite comfortably tight, too. And he's got double bends at the knees. Fortunately, although this covers it up mostly, it also kind of hinders it a bit. He has a bend at the ankle as well as a swivel. So, pretty cool articulation on Donnie. I did manage to get all of Donnie's accessories with him. So let's go ahead and take these out. He does have 2 interchangeable hands. And what's really cool is he's got 2 versions of the TurtleCom communicator. And these are a little pliable, but I'd still be careful so not to break them. So yeah, we have one closed and one open. He can hold these in his hand. Kinda. I swear I had him holding at one point in his hand. There we go. So there he can talk to April, or any of the other turtles that are calling. However, he also comes with... Oh, and then I guess I'll go ahead and just show off the hands here. So they are on this little peg, so he should just be able to twist and pop the wrist off, like so. And then just simply replace it. There we go. So, ta-da! And I will say it's a little... Oh, this actually bends better. And this doesn't actually have a bend. Oh, it does bend up and down, actually, but not very well. At all. Actually, it almost looks a little stressed. Right about there. So, okay. We'll go ahead and take this off because I believe this hand was more designed for his bow staff accessory. Because what would Donatello be without his bow staff, right? So here he has his bow staff, and it looks like it can come apart. I haven't been able to... Oh, there it goes. It does come apart. So it is on a peg, and it makes it just a little easier to get in his hands. There we go. And we can actually get some nice dual wielding action here. Maybe. Take it apart again. Alright. Maybe turn his wrist a bit. There we go. Alright. And so now we have a two-handed pose for Donnie. And he does have an area on his back where you can store the bow staff. So, pretty cool. Let's go ahead and go over the details on Donnie here. We can probably go ahead and remove this for now. There we go. Alright, so Donatello has this nice animated dark skin. I mean, it pretty close resembles the animated series. I think a lot more than the Wave 2 Turtles, which we'll take a look at in a future upcoming video. I like the purple on his eye, and notice he does have 2 shades of purple. That's to give it that animated shell look. His eyes are perfectly painted on. You'll notice he does have his initial on his belt. Non-colored, unlike the vintage. Actually, the vintage was yellow, so. We also have those purple wraps, 2 shaded purple wraps on the elbows, the wrists, on the knee pads. And that's really cool. We have lovely shading and paint right here on the shell. You'll notice, whoop! And you'll notice the black here is also supposed to be part of the shading of the figure. All the way around, you got that on the mask, on the legs. I mean, these are really well done figures. And while I'm at it, I have it off. Let's go ahead and pop his bow staff in his belt. There we go. So pretty cool. So next up, let's go ahead and take a look at Michelangelo here. We already took a look at the packaging, so let's go ahead and open him up. Okay, here is Michelangelo out of the box. And this is a pretty good representation of the animated series Michelangelo. Now, the articulation, everything's going to be the same all around with these guys. So I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on that. We have the head movement. We have the same elbow joints. The legs still go out. We've got the double knee joints for all of them. So, I mean, everything's going to be the same. With these turtles, they use the same buck. They use the same exact body. So, one thing that seems weird, and I don't know if it's just me or not, but it almost seems like this leg is longer than this leg. And because of that, I've almost been having standing issues with him. But when I do find that sweet spot, I mean, I could pretty much put him down and move him around, and he stays standing. So I guess it's just really where you can find that nice little balancing point. So let's go ahead and go over the accessories with Michelangelo. He does come with extra hands. He comes with 2 thumb-up hands. They can't really do anything with him. He just gives thumbs up. You can give him 1 or 2. So, he also comes with his grappling hook, which he was forced to use in later seasons due to the fact that apparently kids were making nunchucks and hitting people with them, I guess. I don't know. So it is a real string. It's got this little knob here. I guess it's supposed to be so he can hold on to it better, but it doesn't. These do pop out, but they don't come out very far. That is about it. That is as far as they go. It looks like they're supposed to go a little further, but they literally come out the same. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know how that's supposed to hook into anything like that. But maybe it is supposed to be like that. I don't know. He doesn't get a very good grasp on it. You can get the rope in his hand. As you can see, it just drops. You can maybe get both. I don't know. It's yeah. But it's on a rope, and if you can get him to hold on to it, you can swing it. He also comes with, he wouldn't be Michelangelo without his gnarly nunchucks. And I love these because they're on a real chain. And that is just amazing. I absolutely love this. And of course, he can put both of these in his hands. His right hand seems to have a much tighter grip. I'm sorry, his left hand seems to have a much tighter grip than his right hand. So just something to be wary about. You do the heating trick to loosen it up a bit. But I mean, he holds on to his nunchucks just fine. And they are long enough to where you can dual wield them if you so choose. Now he comes with another awesome accessory in this little spinner. And you'll notice it has a little attachment here. A little peg hole. And what you're supposed to do is only one of these nunchucks has it. I believe it's this one. Maybe it's this one. I gotta find out which nunchuck has it. Of course, it's the one that I didn't... Okay, I planned that wrong. So you take the nunchuck out of his hand. And... Whoops. And his wrist is popping off there. Let's get that back in. You put this in his hand, like so. Because that's really tight, really hard to do. And then you take this, and you place it on the peg like so. And then it looks like he's twirling his nunchuck. And it is articulated. You can move it this way. You can move it this way. It's pretty cool. It's a nice little accessory. I've seen similar Michelangelo figures come with this, and I always thought it was pretty cool. So, And then if you don't want it on there, you can just simply plug in the nunchuck back in the spot. Whoop, and there you go. Maybe we can even get a decent pose out of them, holding the nunchucks like so. Oh well. So anyway, really cool. And though you'll notice there's no spot on the back or the front of his belt to place his nunchucks when he's not using them, fear not. Whoops. Neca has you covered. Try plugging that back in. I'll just simply take the nunchucks like so. And up. And like in the cartoon, you can store them right here on the side of a shell. Typically not an issue. There we go. Well, it worked better off camera, naturally. But honestly, who's going to pose him like that? Of course, they're going to have him posed with his nunchucks holding in his hands. So that is Michelangelo. You can see he is leaning quite a bit. And yeah. Whoop. And the details are the same as on Donatello. He has 2 shades of orange this time around as opposed to purple. He's got the same kind of shading going on with the black. He's got the shading around his logo, the knee pads on the belt, his arms. The shell just looks fantastic. So, and like Donatello, his joints are pretty darn tight. And I mean, I don't think you really need to put them in hot water or use the hairdryer trick. I think they're just the right tightness. With the exception of maybe his hand here, which has it's really hard to get the weapon in, his nunchuck inside that hand. So, all right, next up, let's go ahead and take a look at Raphael. Okay, everyone, here is Raphael out of the box. And of course, Raphael is my favorite of the Ninja Turtles, so this one I was really excited and happy to open. Again, same basic sculpt, same body and everything, with the same as the other turtles. So we're just going to go ahead and go over, his details. He'll have the red bandana with the 2 shades, light and dark red there. Pretty cool. Just checking to see if maybe the bandana is spun, but I don't think they do. Yeah, all the shading is here. Yeah. So something I wanted to note with this particular figure, Raphael, his arms at the joints, at the elbow joints, were locked together. They were straight. I could not move them, so I had to do the hairdryer trick, and it worked, as you can tell. They're still a little tight, but I mean, I'd rather have them a little tight than not being able to move at all. And if, play with them a little bit, they work just fine. Something weird that I've noticed with Michelangelo is, look at this. You move one leg, they both move, which is kind of funny. But if you hold on to one, I don't know, it's kind of funny. So yeah, he has the same articulation. The joints are nice and tight. And you may have to do the hairdryer or the hot water trick. I don't like getting my figures wet, so I prefer the hot water. Or I prefer the hairdryer. He does come with 2 interchangeable hands. They are both pointy hands. One more open than the other. But they are pointy hands, and yeah. And this serves as if you want him to hold his slice of pizza. You may do so. So pretty cool. We'll come back to the pizza in just a moment. As one of his accessories. His other accessories, of course, are his size. Wouldn't be Raphael without his signature weapon. So we just put them in his hands, and they have a nice grip on them. They don't slide. They don't have any trouble whatsoever. and they look really cool in his hands. There is a nice thing with this pizza that I mentioned. If you look closely, there is a tiny hole right here. You can take that and place it on one of his thighs. That's kind of neat. So yeah, pretty cool. Now, there is one downside. I haven't had too many downside with these figures. To where there was a spot for Donatello's staff, and you can store Michelangelo's weapons on his side. Raphael doesn't really have anywhere to store his size. I mean, you can try to put them along the sides here. Like so. But I would, yeah, see, I'm afraid to push them down any further than that, for the simple fact that this is very thin, non-pliable plastic. And we know the history with Neca weapons and toys and stuff. They snap and break very easily. So unfortunately, there is nowhere to store his size. You also can't really get him in that side holding pose very well. I thought maybe originally that's what these hands here were for. But I don't think it looks very good, honestly. Well, yeah, I guess you can do that. Let's switch them out. What do you say? We'll just go ahead and switch them out. So we'll pull out the hand. Plug this one in. And we'll plug this one in. Nice and tight. So, alright, so yeah, I can hold on to his side kind of like that in that hand. And you can really do that in this hand. It's very tight fit. So yeah, he can essentially hold on to his size like that. Actually, that's pretty cool. I actually really like that. So, and you can still have him holding the pizza on the side if you wish to do so. So pretty cool. Very happy with Raphael, with the only exception to the fact that you can't store his size anywhere really. It's not really pliable. So that's unfortunate. Very unfortunate. Yeah. So, and then, I mean, that's it. He came with interchangeable hands, the size, the pizza. That's it. That's all the only accessories he actually came with. Not as much as Donatello, not as much as Michelangelo. Yeah, so there we go. So we're going to go ahead and move on to our last Ninja Turtle, Leonardo. So let's get to it. Okay, and finally we have our leader, the fourth Ninja Turtle, Leonardo. And Leonardo is awesome. Leonardo is actually my second favorite of the four turtles, Raph being my first, like I mentioned. Again, wonderful blues with the shading of the two different colors. All the blacks, and of course all the articulation is the same on these guys. They all have all the same shells. So really, really cool. Now, we'll just go ahead and go straight into his accessories. Like the other four, he comes with interchangeable hands. He has two open hands. I'm assuming they're for holding pizza. Raph is the only one that came with a slice of pizza, so I guess he can open slap people. I don't know. He does come with a turtle com. I guess he could hold the turtle com in his hand, but it's a closed turtle com. It's not like Donatello, which came with a closed and an open. He also doesn't really hold the turtle com very well, if at all, honestly. There's really no give to his hands. You could probably do the hairdryer trick to open him up, but if you do that, then you risk losing his nice grip on his two swords, his two katanas, which he does come with. And they're pretty cool. They're just the nice detail in the shading here. There's just a plain brown handle with dark gray nub in dark gray. Portion there's kind of white, light gray on the blades, and they fit really nice and tight in his hands. Something I will say about all 4 of these turtles so far is their joints are nice and tight, and they do hold on to their signature weapons quite well. And yeah, there you go. That's Donatello holding his swords. It's really cool. I absolutely really like the way these turned out. Now, like Michelangelo and Donatello, and unlike Raphael, I turned him around and you will notice that he does have a spot for his swords. However, they are very, very, very tight. I had issues getting them out, actually, once I had them in, and they wouldn't even go in all the way. And I'm really actually scared of bending and breaking the blade on these. Yeah, I mean, they're really, really tight. They stick out ridiculously like that. So I think I would prefer not to put them back in the sheath, the holder. Just because I don't really want to risk breaking the swords. I'm happy with just him holding on to the swords, honestly, like he should. And you notice how I'm putting them in. I'm putting them in like this as opposed to back here. I had a movie Leonardo. I tried that. It was stupid, and the blade just snapped right off. So I learned my lesson. Neca was cool enough to send me a replacement sword, which was awesome. And he also has that weird leg thing going on too, so. But, I mean, his legs still move out and separate and all that good stuff. Very tight joints on these guys. I absolutely really love them. And let's see if we can get him in that classic pose where he's just kind of coming up on somebody. There we go. Love it. Bring him down just a little further. Yeah. There we go. That is awesome. So, all right, everybody. There you go. Wave 1 Ninja Turtles. The next video is going to concentrate on the Wave 1 Foot Soldiers. I do have Shredder. He came with Leonardo. But I'm going to save the review for him for Wave 2 because I have him along with Krang from Wave 2. And I don't find it, it's, unless there's any significant differences between the two, which they're not, they're exactly the same figure. I'll go ahead and compare them, but I mean, they're the same figure. And yeah, so Foot Soldiers are next after this. These are just amazing. Let's go ahead and bring all of these figures in and just kind of pose them. So yeah, I mean, that looks incredibly, incredibly cool. Absolutely love this. This is really, really awesome. If I could change his head a bit. There we go. So, Neca did a bang out job with these figures. They're incredibly cool. A complete pain in the rear to get out of the packaging because I must bring these in here. Wires. Lots of freaking twisty wires. Tape. So, from what I understand, the Wave just gets even more ridiculous because they come with even more accessories. So, I'm excited. I can't wait. We're going to take a look at the Foot Soldiers next. So, make sure you tune in for that video. If you like this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. Please leave a comment down below. I'm curious, who is your favorite Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle? Until next time.